I the asshole?
Date wants me to pay for half weekend expenses. I woke up with this text from a guy I went out on a date with 2 weekends ago. Good morning. I hope you had a fun weekend. The total from the other weekend was $212. Your half comes to $106 minus whatever you covered at Bitter and Twisted. Go ahead and send it over on Apple Pay, or if there's a different platform you use, let me know. This guy asked me out Friday night, whole day Saturday and Sunday. He did pay for the majority of the night, but I also paid $70 at a bar plus $40 parking in downtown. He kept insisting on going to the next place each time we finished the place we were at. Sunday night, he invited me to watch a movie at his place. Nothing happened. Midweek again, he asked me, come watch a movie and sleep over. I said no to the sleep, but yes to the movie. As we watched the movie, he kissed me. I felt uncomfortable since it seemed like he wanted to do a little extra, and left. Granted, it was 3 a.m. following day. He doesn't text me and wait at least 5 more days to text me that BS. Never did we agree we were splitting the bill, and it seemed like the rejection had him feeling salty about spending money on a weekend on me. Seemed like he felt entitled to something more with me since he spent $106 on me, when I spend about the same, and I didn't plan on asking to split that amount because it's tacky, but am I wrong for sending my half?
8 for getting upset with my girlfriend. I had planned an entire day out to take my girlfriend on one big date for some quality time. Dinner, ice cream, escape room reservations, and even more. I planned this almost 2 weeks prior and informed her of the date and times to which she was so happy and agreed. The night before at 1 a.m., I get a text saying we have to reschedule because her roommates are begging her to go to a Halloween party the night of said date. For context, we've been together almost a year and I work 80 hours a week almost. She's 2 hours away, so I'm lucky if I see her once a week. AITA for being upset about this?
Am I overreacting for texting my friends to prove a point during an argument with my husband? My husband and I have been together for 3 years. I love documentaries, and he's watched plenty with me. But lately, he's been saying that they're all about women getting assaulted or murdered by men. I told him it just seems that way because those cases are common, but I actually watch all kinds of documentaries. He insisted, no, they're all about women being murdered, and asked if I watch them because I'm scared and trying to learn how to stay safe. I explained that's not it. I just like real stories more than scripted TV, but yeah, women do have to think about safety all the time. I lived in NYC for 6 years, worked late shifts, and I'm hyper-vigilant of my surroundings and try to also look out for other women. I told him, if I walk down the street, someone will whistle, yell, try to talk to or follow me at some point. It happened every single day. He said I don't need to worry anymore because we're married and usually go places together. I said it still happens and has happened even when he's with me. He just doesn't notice because he's never had to. He didn't believe it could be that bad, so I said I could almost guarantee every woman he knows has a story like that, and asked him to reach out to his mom and ask. She used to travel for work. He still didn't buy it, and said he wouldn't ask his mom, so I texted my 2 best friends in a group chat and asked if they'd ever been harassed or had any scary experiences. He immediately got mad and said I was being ridiculous and didn't need to prove a point. Both friends replied right away. One said, which story do you want? I've got plenty. And the other, she's a flight attendant, said, it happens all day, every day. I'm actually job hunting because of it. Now he's still upset that I texted them. So, was I overreacting for asking them to back me up? Or was it fair since he didn't believe me? Am I overreacting? Girlfriend has Bumble on her phone. Says it's for friends only. Posting for a friend. His 35 girlfriend, 27, and he are long distance. She was sharing her screen with him, and he saw that she has the Bumble app on her phone. She swears it's only to meet female friends, and that she was using it only boyfriend, best friend mode only. As a woman myself, I find it highly unlikely that anyone downloads a dating app to meet friends. He is weighing breaking up with her, but wants more opinions on if women generally use Bumble to meet friends. Any insight on whether or not he is overreacting? Have any women out there actually downloaded Bumble with the intent to search for only friendships? Edited for clarity. 1. He is my husband's best friend. He spoke to both of us about it after confronting her. 2. She denies ever using it for dating, but the app shows she disabled the dating mode 1 month ago, but has had the app for longer, said she used it before for friends. She said she has used it before for friends, deleted it, and then re-downloaded it to look for friends again, and that is why it looks like she disabled the dating mode 1 month ago. He doesn't know how to interpret that. 3. He asked her to see chats, but she had none with anyone. 4. He's also suspicious of the friends only story, because when she showed him the app, she had many photos of herself uploaded, and he doesn't think someone who is searching for friends would advertise like that. 4. They've been together 2 years.
Am I the a-hole for not letting a woman I was dating know she had a time limit? So, I met this woman online, we were dating for a while, and then I asked her to be official. She told me she needed some time to think, and I told okay. What I didn't tell her, though, was the fact I wasn't going to wait for her for too long. We still went out once after she asked for more time, but like a week after our conversation, I simply let her know we aren't going to work out. She asked why, and I was honest. She simply took too long to decide if she wanted something more. She called me an a-hole and told me it was an a-hole move to do this, and that she just needed time, and that giving her a time limit on this was bullshit. I didn't really respond, but I am curious if I was unreasonable. AITA for ending things after a woman I went out with accused me of not valuing her time? I, 29 male, went on a great first date, 36 female, through Bumble a couple of weeks ago. Dinner went really well. We agreed to see each other again at the end. Then we texted and bit the next day, and things were still going well. That was 2 Fridays ago. Last Tuesday, I sent her a text to say hey and hear how things are going. We hadn't talked since I sent her a message that prior Friday. She responded by asking who I was. When I reminded her, she said, "Oh hey, it's been a while, I thought it was strange, but brushed it off." Then on Wednesday, I reached out to plan another date. She said she's cautious about people who can't do weekends. I explained I'd been busy and still wanted to see her. She replied that she's a purposeful connection person and doesn't like on and off check-ins. We ended that conversation on an awkward note, but later she agreed to another date, so I asked her to lunch that Sunday. She said the Sunday after works better, so we agreed, and I made a reservation. We texted a few times on and off over the next week or so. Today, when I texted to reconfirm our lunch date this Sunday, she said nothing had been confirmed and said I don't value her time or presence. I replied that I understood wanting clear plans, reminded her we'd reconfirmed last week, and said I'd made a reservation but didn't think this was a good fit. She then accused me of shifting blame and said she was glad she avoided me. I feel like I handled it calmly and was honest, but maybe I should have been more proactive or communicated differently. I don't go on many dates and would really appreciate some help. Am I the a-hole?
Would I be the asshole if I don't return the car my friend bought me as a birthday present? It was my birthday a few weeks ago, and my friend Luke bought me a car as a birthday present because I didn't have one. It's nothing fancy, but I'm beyond grateful to him because having a car has made my life so much easier. Unfortunately, my boyfriend isn't happy that Luke gave me such an expensive gift. He said it's inappropriate for another man to buy me a car, so he wants me to return it. Most of our friends are on his side and agree it's weird for Luke to have bought me the car. I've known Luke my whole life, and he's practically family, so I don't see it the same way as them. None of my family find it weird, and my brother told me that Luke said I should sell the car if I didn't want it, but he wouldn't take it back. I keep fighting with my boyfriend over the car, and he refuses to even sit in it now, but I really don't think I should return it as I know Luke and he'll just be offended. Would I be the asshole if I don't return it?
Am I overreacting? Girlfriend asks me to remove condom mid-sex. My 21 male girlfriend, 20 female of 6 months during sex out of the blues, started slouching. I asked her what's wrong, but she was reluctant to tell me. I had to stop and ask her proper because I was concerned. I asked her if she doesn't want to continue anymore. Then she said we can, but only if I remove the condom. Bituau, this was an intense moment, and we had discussed using condoms as we both haven't tested and don't want babies yet. But I know she's been wanting to try out raw for quite some time now. I just feel like her asking me during the heat of the moment was a bit manipulative. Anyways, I told her I couldn't. We haven't had sex since. It's been a week now, and I still can't bring myself to peace with the fact that she was trying to take advantage. Later on that day, she told me she was joking about the whole thing, but I was really bugged, so I didn't ask her further. I just said okay.
Am I overreacting? Boyfriend told me not to post my graduation pics or don't come home tonight. I, 24 female, graduated last weekend and wore a fitted midi dress. Not short, no cleavage. It was a big deal for me. First in my family to graduate, lots of photos with my parents and friends. My boyfriend, 27 male, was there and super sweet all day. On the way home, he asked to see the photos I was going to post, and then said he doesn't want me posting them because it looks thirsty and invites attention. I laughed, thinking he was joking, but he doubled down and said if I post those, I shouldn't come back to our place that night. Literally an ultimatum over my graduation pics. He framed it as respect, and that his coworkers' family follow me, and it reflects on him. I ended up not posting and stayed at my mom's because I was upset and honestly embarrassed. He texted later like, "Glad you respected our relationship." Then the next day asked me to delete some old vacation photos too. For context, he's made little comments before, like my makeup being a lot and not loving certain tops, but never an explicit do this or else. He's not a monster. He's been really good to me in other ways. But I can't shake this. It feels controlling, and I'm worried it's a preview of what's next. Am I overreacting for considering breaking up over this one incident? Is this the kind of boundary you compromise on, or a line in the sand? How do you all handle social media boundaries in relationships without it turning into control? I'd really appreciate honest takes and what you'd say or do in my shoes. I'm definitely open to hearing if I'm blowing it out of proportion too.
AITA for telling wife not to cover up for her friend's cheating? She, 28 female, lives a bit far, but her office is near our place. She has many times stayed over if she had too much work. Her wedding was coming up in few months at the time. My wife got a call early in morning one day from her. She was hurriedly telling her to tell her husband that she stayed with us for the night. After the call, wife told me and I told her not to cover up for it. She said she will think about it and went about her work. Her fiancé never called, and I remembered it again when we got the invitation for her wedding. I brought it up again and expressed how disappointed I was with her friend. I told her she cannot cover up for her cheating, and she was hesitant, saying it doesn't affect us. When I told her it's something that will affect our relationship, she chose to not go to wedding out of fear of having to talk about it. She now blames me for making her miss the wedding. All I said was if she covers up for her, I would feel differently about her, and I can't know how differently. She decided it was better to not go to the wedding at all. Was I wrong to demand her to be truthful?
Am I overreacting for refusing to share my salary with my boyfriend after he asked to see if I'm doing better than him? I, 27 female, recently got a promotion at work. My boyfriend, 29 male, congratulated me at first, but then asked, "So how much are you making now?" I laughed it off and said I'd rather not share exact numbers since money makes things weird sometimes. He said I was being secretive and that it's normal for couples to be transparent. But we don't live together, don't share bills, and haven't even talked about marriage yet. I told him it's not about hiding anything. I just don't want our relationship to turn into a comparison game. He kept pressing, eventually admitting he wanted to know to see if I'm doing better than him or not. That made me uncomfortable. I told him that kind of mindset was exactly why I didn't want to say. Now he's saying I'm overreacting and making him feel like the bad guy. Am I overreacting for keeping my new salary private?
Am I the a-hole for not wanting my girlfriend to go to a Halloween party? Am I the a-hole for not letting being mad about my girlfriend going to a Halloween party with her sister and friend instead of me, despite saying she would go out with me that day? Keep in mind, every past relationship I've been cheated on at a Halloween party that I've not attended with my partner. I know she will, and she has stated she will be dressed fairly provocative, and I am mad about this. I'm just not comfortable with her dressing like that if I'm not with her, and don't think she should go without me. She is 18 and I'm 17, and the party is 18 plus at a bar. Am I the a-hole for how I reacted after my plus-size girlfriend ripped her pants? I, 18 male, am very lucky to be dating a gorgeous, intelligent lady, 22 female. We were out in a public place with my friends. When she was stepping up, she ripped her jeans. To help her out, I stood behind her, hugged her body, and kissed her neck. To try to make sure nobody else noticed, she ripped her pants. All the physical contact caused me to get hard. Given that my part was pressing against her butt, she noticed. When we got back to where she was staying, she asked if I was some kind of freak, considering I got hard in that moment. She asked if I am one of those weirdos who like it when plus-size women get embarrassed. I told her it wasn't like that. I told her at first I was just trying to save her from embarrassment, then I actually enjoyed the physical contact a little too much. Am I the a-hole?
Am I overreacting for feeling hurt that my boyfriend told his friends he's not really in a relationship right now? I, 24 female, overheard my boyfriend, 26 male, on Discord with his gaming friends. They were teasing him about settling down, and he said, "No a-hole. Here, I'm not really in a relationship right now, just seeing someone, nothing serious. We've been together for 10 months. We go on trips together, he leaves stuff at my place, and he's met my parents." I was shocked. When I confronted him, he said I was snooping and that he didn't mean it like that, claiming he was just avoiding being teased. It's been days, and I can't stop thinking about it. He keeps insisting I'm overreacting because it doesn't matter what he says to friends. But I feel like he publicly erased me to seem single. Am I overreacting for taking this personally?
AITA for cancelling on my boyfriend after finding out my mum has stage 4 cancer. My boyfriend and I are trying to work through some issues, mainly caused by him being dishonest. Things have been off for a few weeks now, but he's a groomsman in a wedding tomorrow. He had responded with a +1, and I figured I'd just go and get it over with. My mum was recently diagnosed with cancer, and we received bad news yesterday. I'm heartbroken and a wreck. I lost my father to cancer 18 years ago, and I'm having the worst anxiety. I don't know anyone at this wedding besides the bride and groom who I've met once. I'm really not up to going mentally. I explained this to him, and he is fuming.
Am I the a-hole? I bought my girlfriend a Dyson Airwrap, now she's mad. Am I the a-hole? My girlfriend and I have been dating for 3 years. We both work at the same job and socialize lots with other people at work. We started dating when we were both lower levels, but I've since jumped a few tiers at work. She's been dropping hints of an Airwrap. I earn good money, and this last week have been doing higher duties at work and got a pay rise for the week, so I thought I would splurge. Here's the dilemma. All the Dysons look the same to me in my boy eyes. So I asked one of the girls from our work which one to get. Now my girlfriend is mad because it's embarrassing having this other person know how much I'm spending. It gives the appearance that my girlfriend is only dating me for my money. Friends who have known we dated beforehand know this to be false. And I asked not my GFS best friend, who I get along with well enough but not super well and also works at our job. She's gotten mad at me and told me all of these things, and I'm just not sure if I have crossed a line. Am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for telling my friend she's not tradwife material? I have a friend, Sophie, that I met at orientation in college. Initially, she tried flirting with me, but I wasn't into her, so we ended up being friends. The big thing about Sophie is she always talks about how much she wants to be in a trad relationship, where she takes care of the home and kids. He works, and they raise their kids religious and all-American. I find this a bit silly because she's the opposite of trad herself. She sleeps around a lot, dresses revealingly, drinks and parties, and gets high a lot, etc. Understandably, the trade guys she tries to entice into a relationship want a woman that's more trad herself, and turn her down. She asked me why I think the guys she wants don't want her, and I replied that she's not really trad enough to be tradwife. She got upset and said I was shaming her, but I don't think I was. I'm not casting moral judgment. It's just a fact that her lifestyle isn't very trad.
Am I overreacting for wanting to leave my relationship of 6 years? Backstory, my partner and I have been together for 6 years. We have a child together, just under 2. Since before we were together, he liked to use recreationally, and I've said since day one how much I absolutely hate it. I've never used anything other than the devil's lettuce, and don't see the appeal, to be quite honest. Once our child was born, I said to him it was a hard limit for me, him having it in the house and using while my son was here too, and he respected that for a while. His friends are nice enough that if told she doesn't like it, don't bring it, they'd respect me enough not to. The problem, though, is him. He's brought it home a couple of occasions, and I've overheard him saying, "Do it, but don't be bait," which completely disrespects me in my own house. Am I overreacting for wanting to leave? He's categorically told me that I should in fact get used to it, as he's never going to change. His argument is, because he brings in the majority of the income, I don't really have a say on how he lives his life.
Am I the a-hole for not lending my boyfriend $1.6K to pay his taxes by next week, even though I have the money? My boyfriend has been asking me to let him borrow around $1,650 for the taxes that he's been needing to pay. Mind you, this is for the October 15th extended deadline. He was supposed to pay this back in March, but couldn't afford it, so asked for an IRS extension. I've been reminding him that he needs to save money so he can pay it off, but all he likes to do is spend. On top of that, he is barely making the minimum wage at his job. I have let him borrow money for his rent before 4 months ago, and I have yet to see that money and promised to pay back, but hasn't. When we go out, I also pay a lot of the times because he lives paycheck after paycheck. I am fortunate to have a well-paying job and fair savings in my account. It's not the point. He just never listens when it comes to using his money wisely. I am very generous when it comes to money, but when he asked today again, I told him no. He says now that I'm a mean person and don't care about him and how he will end up in jail if he doesn't pay up when I've been the only one helping him this whole time. I feel bad because I'm not sure what consequences he will receive. He has been acting pretty dry with me this morning now, so am I the a-hole for not letting him borrow money even though I have it?